Hey YouTube, yep, so this is me not trying to talk myself out of that brand spanking new Gibson SG I was playing 10 minutes ago, or the other day in videos. Also trying the Mr. Whitesnake, trying to get a denim shirt, and I got a light colour denim shirt, didn't like it, so I've got this one on. And then obviously as soon as I picked up a brand spanking new guitar, it's like, oh, it's got metal buttons on it. Doesn't matter, my guitar though. But yes, I should play my SG more. I haven't cleaned the strings off, done it to give it a bit of a wipe. It's been hanging on the wall there the whole time, just because I should play it more. It doesn't do any fancy things, it's just got, a three-way switch and the two humbuckers. But when I put that other one on, that guitar really surprised me. I wasn't really interested in it, to be honest. It's like, alright, aye, cool. £1,000 SG, blah 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 blah, and but I can see where it went, and I like it. This is basically the important bits are the same on this guitar, where I don't know the build, and then obviously this doesn't have any of the fancy stuff on it. It does have an ebony fingerboard for some reason. 92, something like that. There's only a couple of years that they made the special model for had an ebony fingerboard. It's one of them. In Ferrari red, which is not a common colour. Possibly prefer the white one. My pal Ewan, who had basically had this exact guitar, apart from his was white, and I saw it 10 years later and it was totally it was that colour, just gone yellow. So this is faded as well. This I'm sure used to be much redder and less faded. But I mean, I've been playing this forever, and it's kind of why I never bought another SG. I've tried lots of well, not lots. I've played another 10 SGs or something like that. None of them have been significantly better than this one. That new one is better, but new strings, bit of a clean, yeah. It's kind of the same guitar. Although I think that's got slightly more vintage voiced pickups. Maybe not. Maybe just the neck pickup I felt on this felt dead plummy. That's a good sound though, isn't it? And I do think that, well, this was my dream guitar for years. That's why I got it, and then after that it was like I've got. Why would you want more than? I kept my old Epiphone. I should bring that. I should have an SG time. I'll bring my old Epiphone out as well. That was a good guitar. For the first 5 years, more than that, I had this until I bought a set of truss rod keys. When I found out what a truss rod was, the Epiphone played better than this, but this one sounded better and looked cooler. Also, it said Gibson on it, and I know it's a silly thing. The proper shaped headstock makes a big difference. This one has gone totally. It's really going to show up in. Yeah, it looks like it's got a sort of a wood grain on it. That's just the lacquer has cracked like that. It wasn't like that when I moved into this house. I remember I got that. I remember getting this out the attic, going, "What the hell's happened to the headstock?" I kind of like it. It makes it look more vintagey, but I mean, this is what I say, 92, so it's 30, or more than 30 years old. I think it would amaze me, but maybe I bought it in 98, 99, so it was only 5 or 6 years old when I got it, and by that point the lacquer was all peeling off the neck and stuff like that. It's like it was more than half the damage that it's got now was already on it when I got it in the first few years. Before I bought it in Victor Morris, £350, which at the time was the cheapest SG I'd seen. Plus it being red was sealed the deal. So I mean, the only modifications I said at one point, I remember putting a humbucker cover on, like a metal cover on one of the pickups. Still the original pickups. I bought a yellow switch tip because I thought it looked vintage at the time. I think it was £8 or something that cost 30 years ago. The knobs on these guitars always, and I mean always, have the metal one. At least one of them has the metal bits. You know, the bit that says volume or tone that's fallen out, and at least one of them's got a big chunk out it, because for some reason they glued the knobs onto the pots on these guitars. So basically, if you want to replace them, which I did with, you know, AliExpress, £2 for the set ones, they're just knobs. Then you basically you have to crush them with like big pliers, and they're just brittle, so they explode. Is the only way to get them off. Because it always annoyed me that everyone mine this one was missing a tone, and then it's like they've all got a chunk out because someone's tried to take it off with a screwdriver anyway, and it's just that they just don't come off, they just shatter. So you will not be able to buy second-hand, vintage specific, exactly correct Gibson SG special knobs, for sure, unless somebody's got some sort of solvent or something, I don't know. Rat pedalers where it's at, and obviously I've not been playing any AC/DC on it either. It is. I do like the pickups in this. It does have it's got a tautness in SG. Sorry, I was watching the guy across the street there. One or two he was talking to, he wasn't. He was basically trying to get the cable out from his strimmer. Yeah, I think I'm going to buy elixirs for this. Give it a good clean. I think it kind of almost needs tea-cut or something like that. It's kind of gone sort of cloudy. That sticker there says Their Satanic Majesty's Request, which is off the Stones album. It was just on the front of the CD, or the Super Audio CD, so I put it on that years ago when Doctor Who came back. So that's even dating it. I put a couple of Doctor Who stickers on it because I got them in a packet of crisps or something like that. I got them free with something, I didn't buy them. So there's a Dalek and an Ood. That's it, Modifications, none. Oh, I did drop it and snap the head off it. So it's better now. So it's a little bit lumpy on the back with some shady painting and all that, but the whole guitar's kind of like that. To be honest, like a proper refinish on it would probably actually be kind of almost worth doing. But I do like it being red. I wish it, maybe, I don't know, it seems to be like a really thick plastic coating that's on these things. I mean, I'm just wondering, you know, the Dremel or some sort of polishing compound, I wonder if it would come back to looking really nice. I don't know, the back of the neck's probably a bit far gone. But, you never know. It's a real rough and ready workman's tool Telecaster of an SG, this one. It's got that, it's just a hammer. It's not like a hammer, it's not like in fancy. It's got everything it needs. It would be nicer with 24 frets, as all SGs would be nicer with 24 frets. That last one wouldn't have had either, or I would have noticed. It's not so bad on this guitar because, see, there's just this bit of scratch plate here, which is like just a wee extra bit of scratch plate. Right. Whereas on the one that's got the separate scratch, the lower, there's the 61 and the 62 that's just got the bottom bit of the scratch plate. There's a bit of plastic with 2 screws in it in there, and it's like, why not just make the fretboard go to there? You can't move the pickup any closer up. That's kind of one of the tonehound differences between an SG and a Les Paul, is the pickup in a Les Paul is right up against is here, so that pickup is like a whole pickup out. If you look at the cracking, I was talking to my pal about that earlier on. So there's the 24 frets. You know, a normal Strat pickup would be somewhere around about here, and it's it does make a difference. The argument is that this is not as good as having it tight up against the bottom of the fingerboard, but they can't put it tight against into the fingerboard because it's all cut away. There's not enough room, not enough wood to do it. I wonder why nobody's actually. There's an idea. I don't know why I said it like that. Why not get like 2 frets on a piece of wood with 2 screws in it that fit into these holes, and then if anybody can convert their 22 fret into a 24 fret just by not so much on this one. I would just sit on top of the scratch plate. You take these screws out, put it on, screw it back in again. What a great idea this is. I should be patenting this. But for the other one, for the I was going to say the standard, the one that's got the not back wing scratch plate, where there's just a piece of plastic in there. Take the back plastic out, stick in a piece of wood with the 2 extra frets in it. Put the 2 screws back in again. Even make it height adjustable so you can set it. Laughing. It's only an extra 2 frets anyway, so it doesn't really matter if they're lower. You know, they can be lower than the high 2 as long as there's no higher. As long as they're not higher than all the other frets. SG, two free frets for your SG. I mean, folk would pay 50 quid for that. So I could hit that. No, I've had 24 for it. I'm actually hearing wee bits of, I was listening to Sticky Fingers in the car, realising that my influences on the guitar, Mick Taylor's definitely one of them, from that era of the Stones. But I'm kind of hearing this guitar sound a little bit like his. I think I steal quite a lot of how he plays. Not what I'm playing just now, I can't do it on tap. I'm putting an argument for the SG being the best guitar. Not the prettiest. I think it's just the shape about it, and getting like a sort of beat up kind of honesty one is nice. And in saying that, I quite like the ones you get that don't have any finish on them, stuff like that. The sort of cheaper ones, they are even more so. They're still, the core is still kind of there. They haven't finished off the fingerboards properly, and they're not quite. They need a wee bit of work to get going, and they've got shite, no paint. They're not as good as this one, but I mean, it's the fundamentals are there. It'll sound the same, it'll play the same once you've got used to it, rocked it. Nobody's gonna be able to tell the difference. It's still a proper, you know, all the best things about it, apart from what it looked like, are still there. Ferrari red. Just need a Ferrari to go with it now.